Hi, Maddie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm great. It's really good to talk to you. It's been a while since I've seen you. This summer we had the chance to work together a bit in the writing class, and that was a lot of fun. And I was really glad to see your final product. Houston, we have contact. It was the longest story that we've ever received from a student writer at City Kidz World. So you broke a record for that. So that's
Nice.
good. The most impressive thing about it is that you were able to write it in roughly 1 week.
Yeah, I think over we had it like the program over like 3 days where we started
Well,
writing on
it was, I guess you could say that. Monday
it.
was the first day of class and Friday was the
Yeah.
last day of class. Naturally, like you're saying, you didn't start writing the story necessarily on Monday.
Yeah.
So if writers are thinking about it, like how many pages was the story? I would probably say it was 10 or 11, right?
I think it would have been like I can check right now, but off the top of my head it was probably like it was 12. I was gonna say
Okay.
seven, but
I
yeah,
was I
12.
was underestimating. Okay, so about 12 pages.
Mhm.
And if you think about it, if Monday was really just planning and then you had 3 hours for the rest of the week, 3, 6, 9, 12, 12 hours of writing, 12 pages, that's some pretty good work, you know and well developed. I'm assuming, okay, we should be fair. Of course, you had to spend other time proofreading it and all that, so it wasn't 12 hours only, right? But that's still very impressive. Um, so everybody understands you wrote a great short story, 12 pages in basically 12 hours, and then did your proofreading and all that and submitted it. But more than that, let's have everybody kind of hear what your story was about, like the genre and all that. So could you give them like a quick summary of your story?
Oh, well, sure. So it's a sci-fi short story, more satire, I'd say. It's about a young boy named Jesse who goes to a public school, and his teacher is receiving an alien exchange student. So that's like the whole gist of it.
Hmm. Okay. So the young boy, Jesse, is not the alien.
No, Pete is.
Okay,
He has this really long name that I can't remember at all, but
that's
it's
okay.
Pete.
It's in writing somewhere, right? We could
Yeah.
So is the point of view is from Jesse's point of view?
Um, well, it's in third person, but it does switch between point of views, you could
Mhm.
say. Like some sections focus on the teacher or Mr. Anderson, and some sections focus on Jesse, and other sections focus on Pete, the alien.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What was your most challenging part of putting this idea together, the story?
I'd say trying to shorten it because I have a lot of ideas that I'd love to put down on paper, but necessarily it's easier said than done, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So that was definitely the hardest part for me.
Well, you didn't find yourself going off topic or rambling or anything, right? Like it stayed as a real story that made sense, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
Mm. Okay. When I was reading through your story as you were developing it, one of the things that I thought was good just from the beginning, and I'm pretty sure that it didn't change because your final story that I see in the magazine and what I remember you starting with, I like how you immediately developed a character, that teacher character. You kind of created this maybe a little grumpy, a little bit, wishing he wasn't there kind of teacher, which probably relatable, right, to a lot of people, whether they're teachers or just think, I don't want to be a teacher. That's so hard. So that was a relatable character. How are you able to do that? Like, since you're not a teacher.
No, no. Um, well, all of my teachers are really nice. They're always like really jovial,
Mhm.
and they bring like such high energy levels to class. So I thought, what would be the opposite of that? So that's how
Mm.
I got said teacher character.
Well, you did say it was satire, so that would be part of it, right?
Yes. And like in television, you get like the grumpy teachers who are
Mm,
like, "Oh, I don't want to be here." So that's also a part of it.
yeah, but you did a good job with it. I'm sure you haven't studied all the movie satire, so for you to be able to put that in there, so I guess in a way that was very relatable and very real sounding, that's talent on your end. So how did you come up with the idea
Of like the whole
for the
story, or
story? Like just
oh,
where you were going with the story, like I.
um, well, I know in class you had gave us prompts, and one of the prompts was alien exchange student.
Mm,
And coincidentally, I had been working on a comic about an alien. So I kind of just drew some ideas from that and just like plopped it into the story I made here.
hmm
Um, so there was like a very energetic alien and a not so energetic like guy.
hmm
Um, that just transferred over to the story I wrote for the City Kidz World.
hmm So when you're talking about something that you were previously working on and then like combining it with like a little prompt or whatever, that reminds me of what people say about grist for your mill. Like when you're a writer, you're always trying to find something that maybe one day you might use it. So maybe you have a friend who's really weird. You just remember, "Oh, okay, that's some weird stuff right there. I'm going to write about her one day." Or, she's going to be a character in my book, or that's a really neat place. That's going to be a scene one day in my story. So it sounds like you're developing your grist for your mill, in terms of you get a prompt and you relate it to something that you've already done or that you've experienced, and that's really good as a writer. Um, I have a question for you about advice that you could give other kids your age when it comes to writing. Mainly because that's amazing to be able to write a 12-page story. So there's that. So you most definitely can probably give them some excellent advice. So what maybe let's say two or three things you could tell them.
I'd say read. Read what you like and try to incorporate stuff that you see in authors' work that you enjoy into your own personal work. Because that's what I like doing. And I think it turns out pretty good, if I do say so myself.
Okay. I think
Another
you're
thing
right.
I'd say is like just to write, because I write a lot for school because I
Mhm.
do online school.
Right.
And there is a lot of writing incorporated because, keyboards, technology,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
hmm So when you're saying that you're doing a lot of writing, and that helps, is this writing that you're getting feedback on, or is it just writing and you just have the chance to get your ideas out? Like, talk a little bit more about how the writing helps.
Well, it's a mix of both. Like I do writing independently. And that helps just to get a feel for your voice and get faster at writing and articulating your thoughts.
Mhm.
And my work does sometimes get feedback, which is awesome. Sometimes I get peer reviewed by some of my classmates. Sometimes teachers look at it and say, "Hey, this is cool."
Mhm.
Um, so I think feedback is awesome because it teaches you like how to grow as a writer, your
Mhm.
strengths, your weaknesses. And that's awesome.
Okay. Well, one thing I noticed about your writing is that it was particularly strong in mechanics like punctuation, capitalization, specifically commas, apostrophes, dashes, semicolons, dialogue punctuation, all the things that are not necessarily uh good in, I guess, eighth, ninth grade writing all the time. So I would ask you, like, how did you reach that point? What are some things that you've done to make sure that you have that skill set, that punctuation grammar skill set?
I'd say obviously like schoolwork, you have to have proper punctuation for that. Schoolwork, writing on your own and having a spell checker program such as Grammarly, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
And reading books, for example, I had like a Dickens phase, and that's how I picked up like dashes and apostrophes, not apostrophes, sorry, semicolons. That's where I picked up some of that stuff. And I think it's important to just like immerse yourself in different types of literature that does use stuff like that.
Mm, I think that you're right. Like, if you can see it used properly. Sometimes it rubs off, not 100% of the time, but it's a good start, that's for sure. And I think, like you're saying, like actually doing a study of it, like doing practice, that helps as well. I find that helps everybody. So do you have a favorite phrase or paragraph or two in your story that you could share with us, perhaps?
Yeah. I'm gonna try my best to pronounce this first two words. But this is my favorite section. Petizarian Rehomphtian Panerazisis, Pete for short, was an intern at the Galactic Astronomical Subjective, or GAS, as it was called by its less than enthusiastic employees. As an intern, Pete was often ordered to do mundane tasks, such as slaying rampaging beasts in trading ports, handling diplomatic situations between generations of sentient flora, and delivering coffee to his superiors. As anyone would confirm, these were all very mundane and very bland and very boring, and any other synonym you can think of that goes along with very. Our young alien was well aware of this and could list 92 other synonyms with ease. The truth was, Pete was looking for his big break. So that was my favorite paragraph. For two, technically, but yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. The name, yeah, I guess when we're reading it to ourselves, we'll just like see the letters and not even hear the words. I guess we could do it that way. Yeah. So you were saying that you have cartoons too. Um,
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your cartooning and storyboarding type projects.
Um, yeah, so I like to make comic books. Obviously, it's not like Jack Kirby level stuff,
Mm.
but I have a comic book from like second grade that I rebooted about two hackers in like a dystopian advanced sci-fi society where there's a version of the church that runs the world.
Hmm.
It's a bit complicated to put it into like a nutshell, but that's the entire thing, I'd say. I do enjoy putting like art in it, like doing the actual comic panels, but I think the hardest part is actually incorporating writing because it is so easy to like just draw and
Mm.
not block anything out. So,
So I thought I heard you say second grade,
yes, second
and
grade.
and I thought I heard you say dystopian.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So for those of us who are listening, Maddie is really smart. Because when she was in second grade, she knew what dystopian was. Okay, I'm impressed. That's very good. But you say so you're also an artist though, like you can draw pictures and all that as well.
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
I hope I draw well. Like,
Mhm.
I really do hope, but I can't say for sure.
So, as you know, City Kids World is like mainly or 100% kid written poetry, whatever, pictures. But at the same time, kids these days are totally interested in STEM most of the time, even when they take a writing class. So, in the summer or whenever they're taking it. So, my question for you is that living in this STEM world, are you a STEM person or are you more of a creative person? And if you're STEM, how does creative stuff factor into that? If you're not STEM, okay, good. But anyway, are you STEM or creative?
I'd say I'm a bit of both. Like, I was a part of my local STEM club in my school for a while. Well, technically it was STEAM, and I ran the art section, but I did have to incorporate like different parts of STEM into that,
Mhm.
and that was pretty fun because on my own, I do enjoy like STEM related stuff such as Python, um, and I just find it fun to just like engross yourself into these things.
Right. So basically, do you see yourself pursuing, I guess now that you're in high school, you've got what, 4 years before you're trying to get to college and something, do you see yourself ultimately ending up in science or biology or math related, like overall, like is your final
Um,
goal or possibly?
well, honestly, maybe I was thinking. computer programming, maybe, as in like video game development.
Hmm.
Or maybe I could study like some type of quantum mechanics, even
Right.
though that seems really complicated.
Right.
It is pretty interesting.
So do you think that writing has bears any relationship to STEM? Like, or what is the relationship? Like, how does it help? Since you're spending time doing it well and you're good at it, does it help with STEM in any way?
Well, I'd say it does because in a scientific environment, you do need to like write down your findings. Especially in academic papers, you want to have like correct pronunciations and capitalizations. And you also want to be able to correctly articulate what you see in maybe an experiment or what you're doing at the moment.
Mhm.
And you want to make sure that you present it both in like a scientific format, but also in like a layman format. So like everyday people can understand it.
So being able to write clearly is a bonus.
Yes.
And yeah, and the creativity part, is that important in science and math?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd say like you want to be creative in every part of like your life anyways, because it really just like it gives you more opportunities. Like I know not everybody is like inherently as creative as like let's say I'm trying to think of like Pablo Picasso
Hmm.
or like but everybody is creative in their own way and
Hmm.
you can channel that into STEM or
Hmm.
like anything else.
Hmm. So basically being able to communicate clearly, express whether it's in writing, sentences, good sentences, drawing, even having ideas and being able to be imaginative can take you far in science, computer programming, maybe any of these things that require that you be able to like think outside the box, maybe just even having the, I guess, the practice in that, because that kind of is what people do when they're making up stories. They're like trying to create something that is not there, just thinking outside the box. So it seems like a lot of people think that helps. And it seems like you concur that you need creativity. Um, well, thank you for talking to us, but I do want to know, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers about writing or your writing or about your story?
Um, I'd say try to write with other people. That helps a lot and it's really fun. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So get with a writing group, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Would that be an online writing group or a face-to-face writing group?
Um, well, anything works. You could just like grab a bunch of buddies and go on Google Docs and start like making dialogue exchanges between characters, or you could do it in person. Like it doesn't matter. It's as long as you're with other people.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I should do that.
It's just
I should grab some buddies and thanks for the idea. But okay, well, I appreciate your time and hopefully we'll see some more writing from you, maybe in City Kids World. Doesn't have to be 12 pages, but hey, we'll take 12 pages if you want to. All right, thank you very much, Maddie.
all right, thank you.
All right.